Hello there, Victoria Gallagher here. I wanted to talk to you today about laziness. Do you ever find yourself feeling lazy? Like you just know that there's things that you need to take care of and you're just not doing them? I will tell you that laziness has not really been a big issue for me. I have experienced laziness, I will tell you, but it hasn't actually been a big issue for me. But occasionally it does sneak up on me. You just do not get to a point where you've created the all the things that I've created and done all the things that I've done and with being lazy. But I do want to share with you some strategies that you can use that I tap into on those rare occasions when I do get a little case of the lazies. Hey, Robert, good to see you. So let's talk about the 9 tips to beat laziness. Now, if you're feeling a little lazy today, you are definitely not alone. Even though I don't really fall into the trap of feeling lazy, I know that many people do. And even if you feel a little lazy every day, you're still not alone. Many people feel lazy every single day. They have to contend with feeling lazy. So I want to talk about one of the reasons why we feel lazy, or why, as human, just a human being thing. It's actually biological, it's built in. As human beings, we're actually designed to conserve as much energy as possible. Hi, Carolyn. We're designed to conserve as much energy as possible. And we're also designed to try to avoid as much stressful situations as possible. So laziness is actually biologically helpful. It is something that is built in to help you from a biological point of view. It helps us. Hi, Ray. It helps us from, hi, Dave, from taking on too much so that you won't accidentally hurt yourself from running out of energy. It's actually built in so that you won't run out of energy. And you can't exactly run out of energy if you're just sitting around being lazy, right? But for most of us, let's be honest, all right, it's not that we don't have the energy. Hey, Chad. It's not that we don't have the energy, but for most of us, we're pretty far from running out of energy. Trust me, as somebody who's a marathon runner, I can tell you that you've got way more energy that you can tap into than you could ever possibly realize. We're generally just playing it too safe, too comfortable, and maybe there's something, maybe you don't have the motivation, something that's really inspiring you to get yourself out of your own way. And unfortunately, as comfortable as it is to stay lazy and to be lazy, it's not a very effective or productive way if you're going to live the life of your dreams, if you're going to manifest your goals, your dreams, your desires. You got to get up, you got to take action, you got to do things. You have things to do and you have to take action on those things. And laziness is actually going to create more problems for you in the long run. And if you understand that when you put things off and you're lazy, it actually is going to create more challenges for you, because whatever you're putting off is eventually going to pile up. Eventually it's going to catch up with you and you're eventually going to have to do it. It's going to eventually come to that point. So here are some tips on how you can actually overcome being lazy. Hi, Mary. These strategies will help you. Number one, just get started. I know this is like super obvious, but getting started really is the most challenging part for people, is just getting up and doing it. And when I say that I don't have laziness, I do have those moments where maybe I know that I need to take on, do my 17,000 Fitbit steps a day, every day. Now that takes me about 2 hours. And the longer I put that off, the more stressed I become. And eventually I have to do those 17,000 steps no matter what, no matter if it's 10 o'clock when I start. But if I just get up and get going and get started on that, usually within 5 minutes, I'm good to go. And so that is the most crucial part, is you just got to make yourself do whatever it takes to get yourself to just do it for 5 minutes. That's all I ask, is that you just do whatever it is that you're putting off, do it for 5 minutes. And once you do it for 5 minutes, just even setting a timer, and tell yourself that you can, do whatever you want to do after that 5 minutes. If you just do it for 5 minutes, you're going to find that you're actually going to end up doing it for much, much longer. So that's number one, is just commit to doing it in the smallest, most infinitesimally small way, 5 minutes. Number two, remove most of your distractions. Just take your phone. Like whenever I am working on a project, I will put my phone on what do you call the sleep mode, the do not disturb mode. So I'll take my phone, I'll put it on do not disturb. I'll literally log out of Facebook, and I will just put everything aside. I'll close down my 50 other windows that happen to be open on my computer. I'll even shut down my email and just shut off all distractions and just focus. Make a game out of it. And one of the things as my Pomodoros, hi Valerie, hi Dan, I will do my Pomodoros, and I will, for 25 minutes, I will just only be focused on that one thing, and then I can focus on something else for 5 minutes, but then I get back to that for another 25 minutes. And the mind really can only stay focused, really, really intensely focused on something for about 25 minutes. That's why they came up with that. And so with the Pomodoro technique. And so you want to just get rid of every distraction that you possibly can and just focus on that one thing. And hey Beryl, you may just put your phone, your Facebook, everything on hold, and just let yourself know that you can get back to that after you're done doing this one thing. All right, number three, schedule lazy time. Now, this is one of the things that I found during many hypnosis sessions with people, that when we would go in and we would do parts therapy, and we would find out what is the reason that they're putting things off, what is their what is it that they need. And what it was is that most people, even though it's kind of weird, because even though you're being lazy, you're not actually allowing yourself to be lazy. Sometimes, you're doing other things and like pretending to work. Have you ever had one of those days? I have those days sometimes where I'm pretending to work. All right. I'm checking this and I'm checking that and I'm checking that, but I'm not actually working. I'm just going around in circles and doing other things and putting off what it is that I really, really need to be getting done. And yet at the same time, that's not really working, right? It's not actually creating anything or getting anything accomplished. So what I found out by working with people and asking their unconscious mind what it is that they need, what it is they're not allowing themselves to play. So this is super important. You need to actually build in time where you can be lazy, and that you don't feel guilty and you don't feel bad about it, because you know what? That lazy part of you is actually going to come out, and it's going to force you to be lazy if you don't build in lazy time. If you want to be lazy, let yourself be lazy, but you have to schedule that. You have to allow yourself to be, as if you want a day or an hour or whatever it is that's appropriate for you in your life, where you just want to sit around all day, and lazy equals procrastination, or are they not exactly the same thing? Robert, that's a really good question. I kind of believe that they are related, and I'm not going to necessarily be able to dive into the actual differences, but I do kind of think that they do go hand in hand. But I'm sure that you can make a distinction between procrastination and laziness. I'm just not going to necessarily be able to have the wherewithal in this post today. But you do want to make yourself have those moments where you can just be comfortable, be lazy, have fun, play, just let the lazy person come out and do what it needs to do, because lazy is not synonymous with bad. It's absolutely fine, but being lazy too much can have a tendency, is going to take away your ability to do what it is that you ultimately want to accomplish in your life. All right, number 4, and this is another, and I have this in my my hypnosis session called instant motivation, and this is absolutely a phenomenal trick to getting things done. Just got a new member. To getting things done in your life, and that is to see the end result. And that is going to help snap you out of that feeling of laziness, because you're talking to the subconscious mind, and all of this is unconscious. All of this is coming from the subconscious mind. So if you can take 5 minutes, take 10 minutes, take 15 minutes, and visualize the end result of what it is that you want to accomplish, what it is that you could or should or would be doing with that time that you're lazing around, how you're going to feel when you're done with that. Focus on that feeling. Focus on that feeling of accomplishment, how it feels to, if you're putting off getting the house cleaned, or you're putting off getting this, hi Lisa, if you're putting off getting whatever it is that you want to be getting done instead of being lazy, focus, see yourself, visualize the end result, what that's going to be like, what it's going to feel like. If, you got a bunch of stuff on your desk, in your office, and you want to clear off the desk, you've got a to-do list, visualize those things in the state that you want them to be in. Hey Avril. So that is going to help you to snap into what it is that you need to do to overcome the feeling of laziness. Hi Derek. So hold a positive feeling of you in the end result of what it is like to have accomplished the thing that you would accomplish with that feeling of motivation. If you're putting off, maybe if you're being lazy about going to the gym, just imagine the feeling that you're going to have at the end. See yourself sweating, see yourself in your clothes. If you have a hard time waking up in the morning, see yourself, right before you go to bed, see yourself jumping out of bed right at the time that you have set on your phone. And in a lot of cases, you don't even have to set a time on your phone or whatever alarm clock you use if you visualize yourself just getting up at that time. So you want to focus on the end result of having that happen in the first place. Now, another way, number 5, to avoid laziness is to create habits. Create daily habits. Habits are going to beat laziness. So if you might have to force yourself to do the thing for 5 minutes a day, but once it becomes a habit, it's then something that you naturally do, and you're no longer going to feel lazy about that. So for example, have you ever been too lazy to brush your teeth? And, maybe that happens, but probably more times, 99% of the time, all right, you're not too lazy to get up and brush your teeth. Why? Because that is a habit. That's something that you do twice, or if not more, a day, and you always brush your teeth, even if you're exhausted. I'm in the habit of taking off my makeup. Now, that wasn't always a great habit of mine. Now, I don't wear a lot of makeup every day. I have had to because I'm doing more Facebook Lives and more interaction with people and doing my podcast more often. So it is a habit that I have gotten into now of putting on my makeup every day. But with that habit comes taking my makeup off. So that's an area that I will admit that I have felt lazy about in the past, is taking off my makeup before going to bed. But I visualize and I feel myself, if I'm wherever I'm at, before I go upstairs and splash the water on my face and take off all the makeup and wash my face and do all of that. I actually see myself doing that, and I feel myself going to bed with a nice clean face. And so I've established that as a habit where, like, there's no way that I could possibly go to bed with all my makeup on. Let's see. I don't want to brush my teeth. Better check my pulse. Yeah, that one, you might want to check your pulse on that one, Robert. That is a good habit to get into. I would ask the dentist that. But I think of the times too with the makeup thing where I have woken up in the middle of the night with my makeup on and my eyes just hurt. I mean, it just hurts because that eye makeup just gets into my eyes. So sometimes that you want to maybe think about the consequences of not doing that. That wasn't even going to be one of my 9 things, but thinking about the consequences of not doing the action. So that is, you might want to just think about what's at stake if you don't do that. All right. Number 6 is to set goals. So setting goals just provides you with that motivation. Maybe you just don't have goals that really inspire you. And so you want to think about what you're going to get out of not being lazy. What is it that you want? Maybe you need to set bigger goals for yourself. That was one of the things that I actually found was true for me a little while back, is I found that I was setting goals for myself that are well within my comfort zone and things that I already know how to do and I already know I can accomplish. And so I wasn't feeling like quite as inspired by those goals. Like, they're great things to do, but they're not necessarily the thing that was truly inspire me. Once I started setting goals that were outside of my comfort zone and bigger risks for me, I really got out of that lazy feeling. All right. Number 7, we're almost through our list of 9 tips here. So number 7 is to get some exercise. Exercise has a wonderful way of changing your whole state. It is amazing. It is really amazing how our biology really affects our neurology. Because when I get out and I walk, it's just kind of amazing how much I want to go back in the house and get this accomplished and get this accomplished and get this accomplished. Like, my mind is just a buzz, and something happens to my vibration, I believe, when I get out and I get my heart rate going and I'm just outside in nature, and maybe something happens from the sun. I don't know exactly what it is, but just getting some exercise has a brilliant way of changing your perspective, changes your whole body chemistry, changes your brain, and it just really helps you to feel great. So I would highly recommend, if you're feeling lazy, just to, again, some of this does require that you do have to take a step. You do have to take a step. You have to force yourself just to do something for 5 minutes. Any of these things that I'm talking about here, if you could just visualize, if you do the exercise, if you could go do that thing, just promise yourself that you will do it for 5 minutes, and the rest will generally take care of itself. You're generally not going to just do something for 5 minutes and then say, okay, well, I gave that a try, and you're gonna end up not doing it. So that's what I'm talking about. Number 8 is to start small. So break down whatever task it is, and this is kind of getting into the procrastination side of things. So break down whatever task into a small chunk so that you can just get yourself to do it. If you're looking at this whole to-do list, like I create these long to-do, I've got most of them checked off. Look at that, got most of them checked off. All right. So but sometimes when you're looking at that long to-do list, it can be very overwhelming, and your head is swimming and you just don't even really know where to begin. So if you, for example, writing a book is something that I know a lot of people out there still want to do. And when I first wrote my book, it really seemed like, oh my God, no way could I write a book. That is going to take forever. People take years to write books. I don't know if I'm ready to take that on right now. I don't know if I really have time to do that. But you just basically today, and for me right now, one of the big things is that I have all these workshops that I need to prepare for. I have about 17 workshops that I need to prepare for. I've got my 4 workshops, and then I also have all the workshops that I'm doing at all the hypnotherapy conferences, and they're not all the same. I have various different ones. I have about 3 different ones on marketing, and about 3 different ones on law of attraction, and just all of these workshops. And so it's like, where do I even begin to prepare for these workshops? And so my goal for today on that is simply to write an outline for each of the new workshops that I am developing to do at the hypnosis conferences. So for each workshop, I just need to write an outline. I don't need to write the whole thing. I just need an outline, and that's it. And that's my goal. And that's what I did when I first wrote my book, is I just worked on just the outline. And so take a small chunk, the most infinitesimally small step that you can take, and that will help you to be on your way to, to accomplishing that goal, whatever that goal is. And let's see, I think that was, that was number 8, was start small. And finally, number 9. Number 9 is just to focus on one single task at a time. So when you have a lot of things to do, kind of like that to-do list that I just showed you, or just the other night, and everybody probably knows how the other night I booked all of my trips all over the world. I booked myself to Sydney, I booked myself to London, I booked myself to Toronto, I booked all my hotels there. To take on and to do all that, I started with 1. I said, okay, right now, all I need to focus on is booking myself in the Orleans in Las Vegas for my Hypno Thoughts Live 2019. That's all I need to do. And I made a list of all the other places that I'm going to be, and I will take care of those as it comes. But then I was on a roll, and I just decided to just go ahead and book the rest of them. But that's what happens, is you just take one step, just focus on one single task, clear your mind of all the other things. And that was how, because that was one thing I was putting off for a little while in my own life, was putting off that I needed to book all these places, and I felt like I got to do it all at the same time. Well, I ended up doing it all at the same time, but I didn't need to. I just cleared my mind of everything else and just focused on the one place that I needed to book. And so that is going to help you with your peace of mind, and it helps to eliminate the feeling of overwhelm when you feel like you have to think about everything all at the same time. All you need to do is just handle one thing at a time. And so whenever you need to do something, you can go back to these 9 tips that I just went over. And let me just briefly repeat what they were. So number 1 was, get back to the beginning of my list. Number 1 is get started. Number 2 is remove most of the distractions or all of the distractions. Number 3 was schedule lazy time. Number 4 was see the end result. Number 5 was, let's see, hi Steve, hi Barbara, hi Michael, hi Cosia. And let's see, number 5 was create habits. Number 6 was set goals. Number 7 was get some exercise. And number 8 was start small. And number 9 was focus on a single task. All right. So hopefully those helped you with your level of laziness and overcoming laziness. So whenever you know that, hi Dwight, whenever you know that you need to get things done, just try on any of these ideas and you are bound to find one of them is going to work with you. Hi Steve. Thank you. Yes, I am doing well. I hope you're doing well too. So I want you to get started on that now, all right? And one other way to stop being so lazy is by taking action. You know that you want to take action and move forward today on my Law of Attraction intensive workshop. So we are going to be working on breaking through in your life, and you are going to come out of my workshop with a whole renewed sense of motivation. You're going to let go of fears. You're going to let go and change limiting beliefs. So I want you to comment if you are ready to manifest the life of your dreams, your desires, using Law of Attraction, using the strategies that I'm going to teach you about. As you know, I just wrote and published this #1 best-selling book, Practical Law of Attraction. And I will also tell you that in this workshop that I have created, there are exercises that you guys don't even know about, even if you have my book. Most of what we're going to be doing in there is new to most people. So these are things that I'm only going to be sharing with people that are attending my workshop. So it's really, really exciting. I'm going to be doing the workshop in Scottsdale, September 28th and 29th. Ontario, Toronto, that's going to be October 28th and 29th. London, November 16th and 17th. And Sydney in March of 2020. And that is the 21st and the 22nd. So these 2-day intensive workshops are going to change your life, cause you to create breakthroughs, cause you to take action in areas of your life that you might be stalling in. So comment below and let me know that you are interested in getting more information. Just write a comment and say, Law of Attraction intensive, yes, or something like that, and I will make sure that you get more information on that. And you can look forward to hearing more tips and strategies and tools and techniques from me on Facebook Live, more and more. And I wish you a wonderful, inspiring, truly motivating day. Bye now.